breaking news tonight after shooting at Old Dominion University.
Multiple shootings.
Shootout, a double shooting.
A shooting in Portsmouth that left one man dead and a 5-month-old hurt.
2 people were hurt.
Someone shot and killed a teen boy.
One man did die in this shooting and another was injured.
A man has died following a shooting.
5 people were shot.
Yeah, I'm doing my interview right now. And the picture behind me says, and gun violence, I think? Yeah. My name is Lydia Mitchell, and I am 7 years old.
What do you like to do for fun?
You know, I'm a gamer, right?
Oh, really? What do you play?
Roblox, Minecraft.
Okay, my last question for you is, what do you want to be when you grow up, if you know?
A chef.
Ooh, why?
So that I can cook some food.
Our other big story tonight, a family seeks answers after a bullet from somewhere hits a 4-year-old in Virginia Beach. Police tell us this happened Friday in the area of Dandy Court and Babney Court, just off Witch Duck Road. Needless to say, the act of gunfire has shaken the neighborhood to its core.
I was shot in my left eye when I was with my dad, and it really hurt. So we went to the hospital, and they checked off, and my dad saw a lot of blood.
I really don't know what actually occurred. It's pretty much going off of what the police had told me. They said that it was someone looking for a guy who they shot up his grandmother's house, and the grandmother actually dodged a bunch of bullets. They all went over her head into her couch. The bullet that hit Lydia actually went through a window, an abandoned building, and it went across 2 blocks and it hit her. But that night, she had ingested a lot of blood, and it was just unimaginable. She cannot see. She has no light perception in her left eye. She still has bullet fragments in her face, in her sinuses. They removed as much as they could. At that time, her sinus cavity or her nasal cavity is too small.
And Dad got glasses.
Yes. Her nasal cavity is too small to remove, was too small to remove the fragments that are actually embedded in her sinuses. So we still have to wait for that. I think after my time at the hospital, I don't think I received all of the resources that are out there that I'm aware of now. I wish that I had a little bit more information from the hospital, from the police department. I never heard back from them after that day.
Every one of those numbers that is talked about by policymakers and politicians is a life. It's not just data or statistics. That is one life that impacts a family, but that also impacts a community. Unfortunately, I lost a son to gun violence in December of December of 2021. So this this space is something that chose me. I think that as a bereaved mother, when you lose a child to gun violence, you're sad all the time. You're sad all the time, and that's not going to change. I've come to just accept that about myself. But after losing my son the way I did to gun violence, I just felt different than everyone else. I didn't feel like life just was upside down now. I couldn't see it in color anymore. So any type of survivor support I immediately recognized was not available. As a surviving parent, trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what was next, there just wasn't any resources in the community. There, there's no phone calls. There's no one to really reach out to. That's how I felt at the time. There was nowhere to go. I didn't feel like there was anywhere to turn. And that's where the TRC I see as incredibly pivotal and important because it is one place that at least someone could go for resources, someone could go for support, someone could go to, be around other people that have unfortunately gone through something similar.
So this is how I wanted to work.
I know, no, I love it. I saw it in the other one too, that little space, yeah.
My name is Cameron Bertrand. I'm the CEO and founder of Violence Intervention and Prevention, VIP LLC, and now the VIP Trauma Recovery Center, also known as the VIP TRC. Us having this now, there are only 52 trauma recovery centers in the country, but with us having the only one in the state, we have a lot of heavy lifting to do.
The most unique part about trauma recovery centers is the combination of how services are provided. So it's meant to be a holistic wraparound service model so that individuals can get everything they need at that place, either at the trauma recovery center within the bricks and mortar building or out in their community if the TRC needs to meet them where they're at. So it combines that assertive outreach to really find folks who typically fall through the cracks of service provision. And it combines evidence-based psychotherapy options alongside clinical case management, meeting basic needs like shelter and housing, transportation, emergency food, things like that, so that you can do both to stabilize lives and then also address kind of the root causes of violence.
We're in the building, y'all, officially. The VIP Trauma Recovery Center. Quick little tour for y'all, man. Quick little tour. We're gonna have our first ever East End Cafe Express right up here. Shout out to our amazing partners because this is a safe space that provides amazing products that we would love to be able to cultivate for the city, but to also be able to create jobs for our survivors. Right over here, we'll have our first ever brick and mortar space for the Buy Back the Block storefront. We will have meeting offices, right, for our executive team, but also for our victim services and our counseling and our bereaved parents who need grief support. They have a private space to meet at whenever they need it, right? We have an amazing full bathroom for crisis stabilization. We have our creative suites for our workforce development and job placement programs. So as long as people are enrolled in our programs, they'll be able to use these suites for free. We have a full kitchen to make sure that we can do our mobile food pantry. We have a full laundry room for our clothing closet. Our physical therapy space, like, yo, this is gonna be phenomenal. So we'll have physical therapy, we're gonna have pain management, we'll have a wound care clinic, and we're gonna split this space up into something very similar like this. And of course, mobile studio for our people to come and be their aspiring artists in a safe space. We got the full equipment to set up a podcasting studio as well for our engineer table. And then this would be an amazing third space for people after school. A lot of what I do and continue to do is because of what I experience and continue to experience. And so leaving Norfolk State homecoming, November 7, 2015, I remember me and my best friend, Dorian Jackson, we were walking to the car and we got about 3 steps past this guy who spoke to us. He's seen us when we were leaving homecoming. And we got a couple steps past him and heard that gun clock. When I asked him what he was doing, was he trying to be hard, he need his bread? He was like, no, I need his bread. So I'm like, bro, as I mentioned before, this ain't how you gonna get it. You can't get, I can't have nobody with a gun in my face. If you put the gun up, I would still help you. He was like, I don't need y'all help, I don't need y'all help, blah, blah, blah. And so at this moment, I saw just the look in his eye change. I remember turning and telling Dorian to go. By the time I turned back, the dude was running, backpedaling, emptying the clip, just shooting. Emptied the whole clip. Bullet went through Dorian's pelvic bone, and my bullet ended up going through my hip. I remember how they treated us that night. I remember laying there on the hospital bed, not knowing what was going on. Like, why can't I move my leg? And I'm asking the doctors what's going on, and nobody's answering me. At this point, I'm thinking I'm dead. I remember the detective coming in my room. He didn't offer me no Virginia victim form. He didn't offer me any victim compensation. He didn't offer me any advocacy. He didn't offer me any support. He had questions that I didn't have the answers to, that were inflammatory, triggering, and not trauma-informed. And I also remember in that very moment asking them, like, why are you treating us like this? Like, bro, we're innocent. Like, we were just leaving the game. And this man looked me in my face and said in front of my friends, my family, my chief operations at the time, looked me in my face and said, you gotta understand that everybody that came in here tonight said they were innocent.
I shouldn't be made to feel like I'm being interrogated as though I was on the wrong side of the law. You know, you holding my phone, you holding my vehicle, my clothes, all of that, and then you telling me that I have to you need me to give you access to these things, but you already took them without my permission. You know, you took them without my permission, and now you're telling me they're evidence, and I can't get it back. So I have to go to Cam and other people to help me get those things back. That shouldn't be the case. As of recently, I was shot in February of this year. I was shot in my abdomen. The bullet went in through one side and came out of the other and broke my ribs. And I'm still healing at this moment from that. It has really taken a toll on my life, on my family, and on my marriage. All my PTSD has been, I haven't been able to sleep at night, night terrors, anxiety, always on high alert, paranoia to a degree. I felt broken from the inside, and I was weighed down. Nobody could see it.
I had to go through a lot of healing first before I was able to get to the work that I'm doing now. Violence Intervention and Prevention, VIP LLC, was actually created in 2019, and it is currently our umbrella. Violence Intervention and Prevention, VIP LLC, is created to impact youth and adults currently suffering from or at risk of violence and trauma, and making sure that we're cultivating a life-changing perception of success and community responsibilities by providing the skills, tools, and resources necessary to do so.
I grew up in a small area that was impacted by gun violence, drugs, everything you could think of, whether it was like somebody just getting shot near me, a friend getting shot. I've been shot before. I got brothers, 3 of my brothers have been shot. Once I got shot and he found out that I got shot, he introduced me to a program at Riverside Hospital that could help me out. I was having trouble paying for my high school diploma because I dropped out. But that program actually got me my high school diploma. And since then, I've just been striving.
I've been connected to gun violence in several ways. So like when I was in 9th grade, I lost one of my friends, Samari, to gun violence in Hampton, Virginia. And then later on down the line, I lost Cam, Bari, and then just recently on Thanksgiving last year, I lost my friend Zaire Ellis to gun violence. I also lost a friend, Erster. He used to go to Chuba Dream as well. Like, I know a lot of youth, so being able to bring the youth together in certain areas where they don't have to worry about being involved in violence. They can have an outlet to be able to make money, to be able to, stay out the streets. I
think a lot of people focus on the violent nature that we witness in the headlines or in the media, but do not often think about what circumstances led up to this violent interaction. There's no blanket solution for what we're experiencing. Gun violence is a public health crisis. So if we think about that in an aspect that violence spreads through interaction, then we can undo those same interactions with positive ones. So having these different components and entities, our community partners that are involved as well, is going to make sure that we have a healthy ecosystem that can sustain the work that we're doing, that can provide free resources. We're trying to prevent a shooting. We don't want any violence happening out here. And for the youngins, I had some phone calls on my phone last night that were pretty disturbing. And I just want to be direct. I want to say that for the people that I spoke to last night, I love y'all, man. And my big bro just said it.
Christopher Moore, Back for the Kids movement. I am the president, executive director of that organization, good friend and community partner of CAM with VIP. Bass for the Kids started as a simple act of kindness, going into the communities, feeding kids, and actually giving them bags of snacks, bags of food. And those same areas that we fed were areas that were prevalent with gun violence. So we didn't just want to feed the kids and then leave knowing that that problem existed. So we got into the gun violence work. And I take that work very serious because lives have been lost and the pain that it causes other people.
My name is Monica Atkins, and I'm the Executive Director for Stop the Violence 757 Inc. Back in 2013, I was part of a call to action when I lost my cousin Aaron Turner to gun violence. And in that same circle, you know, my sons are there because them and Aaron, they was close. And not knowing that 2014, that I would lose my son to gun violence. When I lost my son to gun violence, I'm like, oh no, you know, it really, really, really touched me. And I'm like, no, I gotta be the change that they need to see out here to do something to try to end gun violence. So when we started, it was all about spreading awareness, meaning outside the four walls. We would have galas cater to parents who lost their loved ones to gun violence, so we can be a safe space so we can actually, you know, we're able to identify each other hurt, because nobody can tell you, if you haven't walked in my shoes, you can't tell me how to feel.
What is the importance of survivors like yourself working in spaces that also help survivors heal?
Because of the trust that we get when we go in those communities, a lot of us come from those communities. So it's kind of easier for them to relate to us than, you know, law enforcement. Because typically people think, when they think about law enforcement, they think about, you're gonna put me in jail, you're gonna make my life, you know, bad, you know. So it's kind of hard for them to get trusted, but it's easier for them to trust someone that came from their background.
If we don't take a stand, it's just gonna continue to be a revolving door. So I always share with parents, tell your story so people can hear it. Nobody can tell your story like you can tell your story. Continue to tell your story. Eventually, they're gonna get tired.
The solutions are with the survivors. We're the closest to the issue. And it's part of, I think, the responsibility of turning our pain into purpose, putting stories behind these data points and statistics and, you know, and news stories, putting our face in front of it and reminding people that this is a real issue and we are real people.
It's coming from a place of experience. It's coming from a place of just professionalism. It's coming from just a passion for it.
It takes a village. That's what we like. That's so true. Like, and it can't just be one person. It can't just be one group of people. It has to be everybody willing to come in and contribute, because that African American Black community is like heavily impacted by gun violence. There's severe dysfunction. There's mental health issues. Like, it's a struggle, and I don't even like saying that, but it's a struggle right now. Like, we're losing not only people, but like youth, especially at alarming rates. And it's like, we need support.
The VIP TRC is the first business that I created that I need to go out of business. Hopefully there will come a day where we no longer need trauma recovery centers. But until that day comes, we need to make sure that they're everywhere that they're needed.
Well, now the things that I went through and the things that I had to just kind of like numb in a sense, people can actually heal from that and go through that and like live through that and better themselves to be greater.
It's not too late. It's no matter how old or young you are to seek help. It's never an age range for healing. There's no limit to how much you can grow, heal, and prosper in life.
Wrap it up. It's done. No more gun violence.